Hello, I hope you're having a great day. So today I thought I would just show you my grow room setup, show you what I use, how I have it hooked up, and just what it is. So as you can see, there is a furnace behind me. There is a washer and dryer, and my grow room is set up of a bunch of stands with I don't know if you say it Barrilla or Barrina grow lights, and I'll go through all of that, each setting with you, but I can actually start around 3,000 plants in here, and then as I start moving plants out to harden off, I can even grow more. So far to get all my plants for the half acre, I have been able to accomplish that with these shelves and my grow light system. I did last year. I set up a table out in another room in the living room, and I put some I just wobbled something together and put a couple extra grow lights because I had about 4 extra trays. But I don't think I'm going to have that problem this year. And if I do have one more of these stands out at the farm. So when it becomes like January, I'm only starting like eucalyptus, lavender, well, I would start lavender, but I'm not this year because I have plenty of lavender and lisianthus. So, as the seasons go on and you get into March and April, that's when it really starts filling up and I start maybe needing other routes to grow stuff, and I will take you along and show you that. I did sign up for Amazon affiliates. I'm not gonna lie, I'll just be straight up honest, but I'm not getting paid for any of the links that I have because I haven't been doing it long enough, and they only pay you if so many people click on your links and all of that. So I'm being very honest with you. I've used this. This is my 3rd year of flower farming. This is the stuff I use. It's what worked. I will explain it. I will put links down below in case you're interested in it. I just want people, I know when I was starting out, I was like, well, how do I get it? And is this the one that they were using? And there goes my furnace, which is why this is a horrible room to video in. But it is what it is. So I am going to give you the links and I'll tell you the stuff that I have, and I'm not trying to sell you anything or make money off of it. It's not an advertisement. It is just truly what I use. I did go through and I cleaned it all up. So I wiped all my lights down. I wiped the shelving down, and I'll go through it now. So first off, I don't really have a link to these baker racks. I got these at Walmart. I just went to our local Walmart and picked them up. And these are the bigger 4-foot ones, and then I believe these are the 3-foot ones. These fit 4 trays across, or these only fit 3. So that was the first thing. I was just trying to do this as cheap as possible because obviously in my first year I was like, oh my gosh, there's going to be a lot of costs. So what can I do as cheap as possible? So I did get these racks, and they have actually worked out really well. I usually put 2 trays under it until I start getting really packed, and then I just line them up long ways, which is why I have 3 lights on each shelf. And then I have I think it's Barrina grow light system. I'll throw a picture of the tag right here on the grow lights. So I have 2 different kinds, but all the tags are the exact same, which is weird. So one of them puts off white light and one of them puts off a pinkish, it looks pink, it turns everything pink. And I started off with all the pink ones, and my first year I did grow all my seedlings. I had enough to put in the field. Everything did well, but I did get some white ones by accident, and everything did better under them. So I started only buying the white ones. So on most of these, I have a white one on each outer edge and a pink one in the middle. And each one of them is just hung here. I went to our local farm and home store, and I just bought this wire, and it's very easily manipulated with some needle nose pliers, and I just wrap it around and hook it, and then I can raise and lower them as needed. I also use S hooks, and I can just raise and lower the lights as needed. So right now, because I'll be starting seeds, I took my needle nose and I just unhooked these little hooks, and then I hook them on here, and then they're the lowest setting possible for grow lights. And then as I want to raise them, I just wrap this around and I pull it up and I can just loop it and it raises the light. So it's been a really simple, I think it's 50 cents a foot. So I don't even know how many feet of it I have, but I just use needle nose. I bought tons of feet of it and just hung all my grow lights with it. I do have these grow mats. I'll put them up. So from watching videos in my first year, I was sure I was going to need some mats to grow my seedlings. But the truth is this is in my house, in my basement. It's heated. Most of my seedlings come out without ever using the mats. The only time I need the mats is if the seeds require a germination temperature of more than like 75 degrees. So I'll point out another important thing I have. I got this little Gage temperature unit and it shows me the humidity in here and then the temperature. And this is very important. I would recommend everybody gets one of these little units or a similar unit, because in my first year, I didn't really know the temperature in here. I kind of lucked out a little bit, but around March, when I have all the lights growing and all the seedlings in here, this room starts to get to 89 degrees. Like, it starts to get so hot in here. And all I have is this little window up here. And I'll open that to try to cool off this room. I turn off all the vents to this room. But I think this is a good point in saying that I have people say, well, how often do you water your plants? Or how often do you water your seedlings? And I think I had that question and I would try to find it all the time online. And I think one of the problems with that question is that everybody's grow space is different. So having my furnace in the room where I'm starting all of my plants makes this room extremely dry and it makes it a lot hotter. So in this room, I probably have to water my seedlings more than somebody that is in a room that doesn't have a lot of ventilation and doesn't have, because these plants start putting off moisture and it starts getting real humid in the room really quick. And that's why even if you don't get the Gobi, I think it was just like the cheapest one. If you get another one, I would recommend getting something that tells you the temperature of your room and the humidity of your room, because it's really important when you're starting seedlings. So I have that. I have all of my trays over here. So these all hold water. And then I have all of my 72 plug. I just reuse them every year. And I fill those with dirt. I've already washed them out and sanitized them at the farm. They don't look like it, but they're good to go. And I actually picked up most of those. I picked up at Menards because I think I found them one year for like $3 and you got the bottom tray and the 72 plugs. So I was like, oh, this is like the cheapest I found. I think I also bought some off Gardener Supply once. They were a little bit more expensive, so I didn't go back there. And then I think I bought some from Johnny Seeds and they were reasonable if I bought them in bulk. So I bought those at a lot of different places, but the best place I found was Menards. The only problem with Menards is they usually don't start selling these until it's seed starting time for like vegetables and herbs. So they didn't have any in January when I first needed them for Lisianthus. I could go back and look at my receipts and see. But I got them online at some garden shop for my first sets. And then I found them and I'm like, oh, these are really cheap. And then I think they even have them for cheap at Walmart. I did try soil blocking. I've tried different methods over the last 2 years, and the 72 plug trays, for the time they save me and how my seedlings do, I've just come to start doing everything in those because those do the best for me and like how I grow. Because I start my seeds in them and then I take them out of that and put them in the field and I don't do anything else. Like if I put 2 seeds in each cell, I might pop 1 seed out and fill any empty cells. Or if my entire tray is full, I just snip 1 off so that I have a plant in each cell tray. Every once in a while, if I have a really bad one, I might just take like a 6-pack out and stick it in another one. So it works for me, it's fast, and I'm not just constantly having to take my seedlings out and move them around. I found it just worked better for me. Last year, I just mixed all of my soil and water before putting them into my trays in this little Rubbermaid. tub. It really is kind of, it was kind of a pain in the butt because it's just a little small. So on my Christmas wish list this year, I had seen these, and obviously I need a different table. But this looked like it would be a good method if I had a bigger table and it was sitting on it, to put all my dirt in and get it wet and then just fill my seed trays. So I'll let you know how that works this year. I think it's going to work a lot better. That was one nuisance I had, is that was just really small. I do use the Pro Mix seed starting mix. I'll get a picture of that. That's all out in my garage. And then I have my watering cans. I've been seriously considering taking my hookup for my washer and doing a dual thing off of it and having a hose in here, because when I start getting a ton of trays, watering is a chore. And then the other thing I have is I have this little humidifier. Because the furnace in here keeps it so dry, I start losing all my humidity levels, and this is running every day, all day, whenever I'm doing seeds. And it's just a simple humidifier. I also have one in my room. I don't know if it has. It just comes off. I fill it with water. It's kind of a daily chore. And this is the type that it is. And then, of course, I have fans. So I have fans everywhere because in this little of a room, I do get some mold and different issues, but each level has a fan. And then I have big fans. There's a big fan over here in the corner. And these are just random fans I've picked up in different places, but you always want fans blowing because you want a lot of circulation once you get your seedlings started and going. And that is pretty much my grow room and my grow space. Nothing real impressive, but it works. It works for me. I will show you my seed starting mix, and then I do have this level. This is something, this is actually important. So I've leveled all of these stands, but sometimes I get these, like I'll push them down or something and they're not right. And when you bottom water all of your plants, if your stands aren't level, all of the water rushes to one side or the other. And so you might have one side that's drying out too quick and one side that's like wet. So I have a level down here, and before I put my seeds on a tray, I'm just gonna make sure that it's level so that when I bottom water it, it waters that tray evenly and doesn't just water one side or the other. Oh, and I did forget something. Out of sight, out of mind. So I also have all of, I don't know how easy this is going to be. So I have all of my grow lights plugged in to smart plugs, which to me, smart plugs are kind of expensive, but I do have an Alexa device, and I'm able to set a timer so that every morning at 7 a.m. my lights come on. They stay on all day for 16 hours and then they shut off. I can turn them on from my phone. I don't even have to be home. I can be out at a restaurant and I could turn on my lights or turn off my lights or check on my lights and see if they're on. So the smart plugs have helped me because I do come down here every day. I do want to make sure that my lights are on, but it just helps because I'm a forgetful person, or maybe I get up and don't think about it right away. It just helps to just have something that's automatic that I don't have to think about. I do have multiple varieties of smart plugs, but I'll try to get in here and show you one. So this one just simply has a button on the side. It turns blue when it's on, and then it runs all of the lights over here, and it turns them on and off at the right time. And then over here, I have a different model of smart plug. I'll take a picture of, I'll unplug it and take a picture of it. And then I have the shop light. I put grow lights in the shop light, and it actually has a smart plug up there that it's plugged into. So I just tap a button in my Alexa app and it just turned on that light, and I went to do it with these and I remembered, oh yeah, I don't have all of them on. So what I do when I first start, because the grow lights all have, like, I have switches and then some of them are daisy chained together. I can just flip on a switch and then you see it's really bright. But that allows me, so when I start my lisianthus, or when I start my eucalyptus, I might only have, 5 trays of it. So I only need this shelf to be on. So I'll just flip on the ones I need, and then they'll automatically be on the timer that I've set up to go on for 16 hours a day. And then as I flip those switches on, as I get more seeds, pretty soon this whole room will be lit up and all of my grow lights will be on. So it's pretty much my grow room space. I will go out and get a picture of my Pro Mix. So this is what I use to start all of my seeds with. It's honestly the cheapest option around me that I've found. I haven't found any like big bulk suppliers, and this is like really packed in there. It's compressed. So all I do is I have a big tote in the basement, and I open the bag and put it in it, and then I just break it all up. And this will start about 43 of my 72 plug trays. And I usually have 2 bags left over that I use to fill my pots in the spring. So that's my grow room setup. And last year I did a lot of videos, seed starting videos in there, and they aren't the best quality of videos because you get those grow lights going and then you have this like pink hue to you, or you're really dark if you turn them off. And I'm trying to think of ways to make it better this year and do my seed starting. I don't know if I'll come up and just put something over my kitchen table. Maybe I can put something over our ping pong table. I don't know. Like, I'm working in kind of a tight space to do all of this, but it works, and I've done it the last 2 years, and I'm going into year 3. I'm going to do it the same way. I hope I can get the video quality better. I am a flower farmer. I'm getting a little bit better at the YouTube. I can already tell this is going to be dark, so it's probably not the best one to say I'm going to improve my videos on. But anyway, I just wanted to give you a rundown of my seed starting setup. If you have any questions at all, drop them in the comments. I will do my best to answer any questions. And this week, I'm going to get started on my eucalyptus and my lisianthus. So let the growing begin. I hope this video was informational. I'll drop links to all the products I showed you, except for like, I'll try to look up maybe on Menards and stuff, but I don't have, if I say I got it from Walmart or Menards, I walked into the store and got it. I didn't get it online. And then some of the stuff I did get on Amazon. So if you have any questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer it. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you have a great day.